Hey everyone, welcome back to How to Be a Poser. Today we're going to show you how to rise, conquer, and rule using the Kier First Sword of Death 6-scale figure by Sideshow and TB League. Let's get started. Alright, here it is, the Kier First Sword of Death 6-scale action figure by Sideshow and TB League. Still in her packaging, exactly the way she's going to come to you. Look at all this cool stuff. We've got armor bits, we've got so many hands, we've got her cape, sword, portrait, helmet, and this amazing base. Can't wait to see what I can do with all this cool stuff, so let's get rolling. All right, everyone, here's Kier, ready to go. Only she's not. She's got all these armor components. So, without further ado, I'm going to start with, I think, these pauldrons. Yeah, here's the right one. They're clearly labeled on the inside with an R and an L. That's handy, so you know which one is which, and the top is going to be this pointy end, so here's the right one. Let's put it up here. This figure has a metal endoskeleton underneath, so just for the sake of safety, I'm going to pull her hands off of the body before I slide these pauldrons up. Let's see, that's the right one, just being sure. Let's see. Now the silicone is going to grip this plastic part of the strap. So just take care when you're sliding it up and just kind of inch its way up there and just go real slow. Pauldron number 1 is done. Time for pauldron number 2. Each one of these pauldrons is equipped with a snap. So you can legitimately, if you happen to pop that off, it's breakaway and it'll just go right back on. Easy as you please. Make its way up there, up the arm. All right, the next element I think that I want to add to this figure is going to be this armlet. All right, so let's get this armlet on her. This should be a fair bit easier. Yeah, look how easy that goes on. That's not giving us any resistance whatsoever. So that's there, that's good to go. I'm going to go ahead and do her vambrace next. She only has the one vambrace. Just rotating it up. Now, I think for the first pose, I'm going to have her holding her sword in this hand. So let's just go ahead and while we're doing this and get that sword hand on to keep that vambrace from falling off. There we go. Flex that to make sure that it's all working, functioning normally, and it is. She is well on her way to being armored up. All right, the next thing we'll want to add is this signature bracelet of hers. Let's see if I can pry that open a little bit. I think I can get it to slide over the silicone. I think that'll be beneficial to the whole display. Yeah, that's going up just fine. Now the other hand that I'm going to use for this pose is this guy right here. So let's just go ahead while we're messing with this and put this hand on. Just rotate that hand back and forth on the wrist peg until it slides home. That's good to go. Okay, now that we have her pauldrons on, her vambrace, her bracelet, and the hands that we're going to select, then I'm going to start to work on putting these greaves on her. So I'm just going to try doing this from the front by pinching the silicone together and simultaneously kind of like getting my thumb into that greave and see if it'll slide to the front. Bit by bit, slide them onto Kier's shins. And one down. Okay, now that we've got the greaves on both of the shins, we can move forward with the cape and that last bit of armor. But first, let's go ahead and drape this. Looks like, let's take that head off because then her braids are gonna get in the way otherwise. So let's pull that over. And I'm not gonna tie this terribly tight. So right there, those seams should go over the top of the shoulder. So I guess that gives us a good idea of how tight we need to tie this little knot here. We've got that done. That's fantastic. Okay. Just going to kind of sort of get a quick cape pose going on here. Wired on both sides and at the bottom. All right, so that's there. The next step in the process is going to be to get this over and on to her neck. And at last, we will drop her head, and there she is, resplendent. I think I'm just going to go ahead and start with the sword right now and get that going because that's just going to be such an integral part of the pose that I'm creating. that I'm going to want to include it fairly early on in the process, as in right now. So let me just try to get those fingers spread enough that I can slide this hilt into that sword-wielding hand, and there we go. Let's turn it this way and get the flat of the blade up there. Just that to compensate. All right, so now it's time to bring in this flaming skull. Each one of these holes corresponds to a finger on Kier's hand. And it's actually a pretty straightforward process of just getting the fingers into each hole. Actually, I'm going to pop this hand off to do this, just so I can show you better. See how each one of these fingers goes into one of these holes in the skull? Once you got that dialed, then you can come around here and grab the thumb and move it into the 5th hole. And then just making sure that all those fingers are in as far as they'll go. Bring it back. And let's slide that hand back onto Kier's wrist. Okay. She's going to be really ever so casual about this. She's not going to be holding it out or offering it or anything like that. All right, so now it's time to bring the stand into play. Let's just create some pleats, quite a few of them, because I don't want it billowing. Don't try to give it any opportunity to misbehave. As soon as I get part of that done, I'm going to just come around here and look at it. I'll just kind of have it conform to her figure up at the top. I'm going to bend this cape back a little bit more, and I think I'm going to have the whip be in this direction. Let's rotate that leg out just a touch. Rotate her torso more into it. Bring that arm back, and there we go. That's in there nice and tight. That's how we want that. All right, cool. Now let's mess with this cape just a little bit more, just to give it some more drama. All right, let's bring this war mask into the picture. Look how easily that goes on with the magnetic attachment. Lovely. Okay, so let's just take these strings and just kind of thread them down here. Maybe up to the side for one. There we go. That's a nice balance. There she is. Kier, Warbringer of Death, in all her glory. Yeah, she looks badass. For Norsemen of old, valkyries were creatures of mercy and bringers of salvation. Kier is not that sort of valkyrie. Her presence in war is beautiful and horrifying, and something for all men to fear.
Hey, did you like that video? Be sure to subscribe by clicking the S icon on your screen and click that bell icon to be notified whenever a new video is posted. If you'd like more info on the items featured in this video, click the link provided under Product Info. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to let your geek side show.